What's up, guys? Welcome back to BCY Vlogs. Today we are going to be going through the steps on how to make homemade. We get our sap with a 5-gallon bucket like this and a lid which we drill 2 holes into and run some of this air hose line out. And then once we drill another hole in the tree and put a little tap in there. And then we just put this hose on it, and then all the sap runs out of the tree. And what syrup starts out as. It's mostly water at the beginning. What you do is you pour this sap in this pan over here, but make sure you put it in the pan before you put the pan on this, because the fire will burn the bottom of it. Put all the sap through this colander thing to make sure all the little dirt like that and stuff's out. Pan on the fire. But make sure your fire is going good before you put it on, or it'll make sure you wear oven mitts because the fire is very hot. Your sap's on. Just keep sifting your sap into this pan here until either the bucket's gone or your pan. If you live somewhere cold, I would suggest bringing it inside to let it heat up, because it freezes inside these 5-gallon buckets when it's outside. Still put this ice in. Just make sure you don't throw it in, because it could splash you and you could get burnt. So once your pan is full like this, you just let it cook down till it gets like this darkish brown tint on it, and then you take it off and you cook it inside on your oven or your stove, whatever you want to call it. The sap is done. We're going to cook it to 215 degrees. Then filter it. Then we're going to cook it to 219 degrees. Then it's done to can.
Okay, the sap has reached 215, so we are going to strain it. I think it's getting nice and thick and bubbly here. So when we strain it into a pot. I have my strainer here. We use a cloth napkin. You could use a tea towel to strain it through. So we'll put that in there, and then I also put this paper filter in it. We get these at Tractor Supply. It's called maple syrup filters. You want to do this to filter out any of the sugar sand. Let me just filter a little bit here through here so you can see how it streams through there. Normally I would just kind of dump this in here, but it takes a little bit to go through here. See, it's kind of thick. You want it to take a little bit just to make sure that you get all of those sugar sand particles out of it. Alright, so once we get this all filtered, we'll put it back on the stove and we'll cook it up to 219 so we can can it. You're done sifting at 215 degrees. You want to cook it to 219 degrees. Then you're going to sift it again through this when you're putting it in a mason jar like that. This is the different colors of what your sap would look like. This is what you get at the beginning of the year when you start. This is around the mid-year when you start. And this is the color you get at the end. And if you don't filter it enough, you'll get sediment in the bottom like that. It's called sand, sugar sand I think it's called. And you can put it in little mason jars, big mason jars. You can buy these at Tractor Supply. You can buy these at Tractor Supply. Now our syrup is done, so we're filtering it again as we put it in the mason jar. No matter what kind of thermometer you use, we prefer this one because you can set a certain heat on it, and a timer will go off if it gets that hot. But you can also use this kind that looks like this. Show you how hot this gets. I'm gonna put this piece of ice on and watch what happens. That's what happens. It gets so hot it melts. Our sap cooker. It's a 55-gallon barrel, and you cut the top off it so you can fit that turkey roaster pan in. Then you cut a door in it so you can put your wood and stuff to make sure the fire's still going.